All right, afternoon, guys. Yesterday we went ahead and we worked on solving systems of equations, word problems. And now I'm just going to call this one solving systems of equation word problems 2, because we're just going to be, excuse me, I got the hiccups all of a sudden. We're going to be taking what we learned last night and how to find the equations for the word problems, and we're going to find those equations, and then we're going to actually take it one step farther, and we're actually going to solve those equations. Okay, so when I look at question number 1, it says when you reverse the digits in a certain 2-digit number, you decrease its value by 9. Find the number if the sum of its digits is 7. Okay, so again, we're working with a 2-digit number, so our variables are going to be t and u. And we know that the sum of these 2 digits is 7. So I know t plus u equals 7. Okay, now I'm going to find the second one. Now remember, if you guys remember how to do this from yesterday, my 2-digit number is 10t plus u. That's the form for the number. So I'm going to reverse those digits. So I've got 10t, actually let me rewrite that. It's actually 10u plus t equals, and it says that the number it decreases its value by 9. So that's going to be 10t plus u minus 9. Okay, so first I'm going to take this equation and I'm going to simplify it so that it's similar to our first equation here. So that's going to be 10u plus t equals 10t plus u. Actually, I don't need to do that because that's just rewriting it. So let's go ahead and let's start by, let's move the variables over. So I'm going to subtract 10t and subtract u, subtract 10t and subtract u, and I get 9u plus, and that's actually going to be minus 9t equals negative 9. Okay, so my equations now are t plus u, and actually let me go ahead and I'm going to put a line right here just to separate what we've already done. Okay, and I've got tu, and I've got negative 9t plus 9u equals negative 9, and this is equals 7. So now I need to get my just like we did yesterday when we worked on eliminating a variable, I need to either solve for one of these variables and plug it in, or I can use elimination method. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm actually going to solve for u. So I'm going to subtract t to both sides, which gives me u equals 7 minus t. Now I'm going to plug this in for u right here. So I get negative 9t plus 9 times 7 minus t. Oops, that's not a lowercase, it should be an uppercase. Minus t, and this equals negative 9. So now let's go ahead and let's simplify and let's solve. So we've got negative 9t. I'm going to distribute this 9. So that's going to be plus 63 and minus 9t equals negative 9. And I'm going to combine my like terms, so that's negative 18t plus 63 equals negative 9. I'm going to subtract 63 to both sides, and I'm going to get negative 18t equals negative 72. I'm going to divide by negative 18, and I get t equals negative 72 divided by negative 18 is going to be a positive 4. Okay, so my t now is going to be 4. I'm going to take this and I'm going to plug it in right here, and I'm going to find u. So I've got u equals 7 minus 4 which is u equals 3. So now, let me actually draw one more line to separate here. Okay, so now I've got my number we're guessing or we're assuming is 43. Okay, so now let's go ahead and check. And I just used this equation, so now I'm going to use the next one. So that is negative 9 times 4 plus 9 times 3 equals negative 9. This is negative 36. So this is my check. Plus 27, and that's going to equal negative 9. And you get negative 9 equals negative 9, so it checks. So my answer then is going to be 43. Okay? These are probably the most difficult ones to work on. But these usually aren't all that difficult as well. So let's go ahead and let's look at example number 2. Let me pull this down. Okay. It says the school that Bill goes to is selling tickets to a play. On the first day of ticket sales, the school sold 6 adult tickets and 2 child tickets for a total of $54. The school took $102 on the second day by selling 5 adult tickets and 8 child tickets. Find the price of an adult ticket and the price of a child ticket. Okay, so I'm going to add a little extra step in here. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to figure out what my variables are. So I'm going to say A, and that represents the price of adult ticket, and I'm going to just leave it at that. And I'm going to say C, which is the price of a child ticket. Okay, so now let's go back and let's take the information we have and let's figure out what my equations are. So it says on the first day of a ticket sale, the school sold 6 adult tickets. So I'm going to say 6 times A. And so we're going to say plus 2C, because it's 2 child tickets, for a total of $54. And actually, let me rewrite this off to the side a little more so I got some more room to work. So I've got 6A plus 2C equals 54. Now I'm going to take the second one, and I have, on the second day, the school took $102 on the second day by selling 5 adult tickets and 8 child's tickets, and that was $102. Okay, now you're not going to want to use substitution for this one because you're going to have to solve, and it's just going to be a little bit more difficult to do solving. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to find the least common multiple and the easiest numbers to work with. Well, in order to find a least common multiple between 6 and 5, I'm going to have to multiply both equations by one number. Here, I can make 2 equal 8 by multiplying by 4. So I'm going to multiply the first equation by negative 4 so that I get a negative number that will be the opposite of this one. So that's going to be negative 24a minus 8c equals, and 54 times negative 4 is going to be negative 216. Alright, now I have 2 equations. Let's go ahead and let's add them together to eliminate my c's. So these are gone. Negative 24a and 5 is going to be negative 19a equals, and negative 216 plus 102 is going to be negative 114. Now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to divide by negative 19, and that's going to be 6. So I get a equals 6. Okay, so now I've got a equals 6. I'm going to take this and I'm going to plug it back into one of my 2 first equations to find c. So let's go ahead and I'm going to make a line here, start my new bit of work. So I've got 6 times 6 plus 2c equals 54. This is 36 plus 2c equals 54. Now I'm going to solve for c. So I'm going to start by subtracting 36 to both sides. I get 2c equals, sorry, I'm going to subtract 36 from 54, and I get 2c equals 18. I'm going to divide by 2, and I get c equals 9. Okay, so now I have my estimate, or my answers that we're assuming that they are. The only thing left to do now is to actually check our answers to make sure it's correct. So I'm going to say 5 times 6 plus 8 times 9 equals 102. Okay, and this is going to be 30. 30 right here plus 72 equals 102. 30 and 70 is 100 plus 2, so that's 102 equals 102, and it checks. So now the only thing that you need to make sure that you do, and this is actually not something that I've made a big deal about with the word problems because we haven't really gotten to them until now, is I do suggest that you need to label your answers as well, because these are word problems, so I don't necessarily know what C represents and what A represents. So what I want you to do now is I actually want you to, your answer then, and so let me actually erase the little box so that I can add it on to the answer. Okay. Your answer would be A equals $6 and C would be $9, and I guess I didn't need to erase those. Okay, so I hope this was helpful. Make sure you guys are ready to go tomorrow. If you have any questions, you have to make sure you write them down so that I can address them accordingly when the time comes tomorrow. I hope you guys have a great night tonight, and I will see you tomorrow morning ready to go.